What's up guys, my name is Courtney Budson and this is What's for Din. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make pumpkin bread. Now all of you guys probably already have a really good recipe for this, but I'm going to show you a better one. But this pumpkin bread is so delicious because it's super moist and decadent, and it's basically a cake, but we call it a bread so that we don't feel as bad about eating it. I know you guys are going to love this recipe, so without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is prepare 2 loaf pans. Now this recipe is enough to make 2 things of pumpkin bread. So what I did was took a little bit of oil and brushed it on each side, the bottoms and the sides of the loaf pan. And then I cut out some parchment paper and added that in as well because I want to be able to lift out the loaves after they come out of the oven. And also make sure you're getting your oven preheated at 350 degrees. So the first thing we're going to do is combine all our wet ingredients with our sugar. So in my standing mixer, I have some regular granulated sugar, and into that I'm going to add just a little bit of water, some vanilla extract, some oil. You can use coconut oil if you want. I'm using vegetable oil. You can really use any oil you want, but I definitely wouldn't suggest that you use olive oil. Some applesauce and our pumpkin puree. Whoa. Is it just me, or does pumpkin puree smell like baby food? I still eat it though. It's a good kind of baby food. All right, we're gonna get this mixing, and as it's mixing, I'm gonna add 1 egg at a time. Egg going in, second egg, third egg, fourth egg. And you just want to let that mix until it's really well combined. All right, so now we're going to combine all of our dry ingredients. Now I'm just using some regular all-purpose flour. Into that I'm going to add some pumpkin spice and a little bit of salt and some baking soda. Just going to combine this well with a whisk. Try not to make a mess. I always manage to make a giant mess. Oh, there it goes. All right, so that's good and mixed. Now we're going to start incorporating a little bit of our flour mixture, a little bit at a time. So you just want to mix it until it's just combined, and then continue adding more and more flour until it's all in the bowl. All right, that is just combined. I don't want to over mix it, so I'm going to take this little thingamajig off. I just want to scrape down the sides of my bowl because there's a little bit of flour, and make sure it got all the way at the bottom. You want to make sure there's no flour stuck at the bottom. All right, now the magical thing happens. We're gonna pour them into the loaf pans. Woo! And once I have all the batter in the pans, I like to just kind of shimmy it and tappy it, and tap it so it'll get all the air out. So you're probably wondering why in the world this recipe has 2 loaves. Well, I'm just gonna say, if you make 1, you're gonna wish you made 2 because they're that good and they disappear so quickly. So you gotta make 2 when you do this. If you want, you can cut the recipe in half, but I don't suggest it. Just don't do it. So we're gonna throw these in the oven at 350 degrees. Right in the center, you don't want it too close to the top or the bottom so that neither the top or the bottom burns, for about 50 minutes or until you insert a toothpick and it comes out clean. Now the key to this is please don't overbake it because then you're gonna ruin the whole thing of it being moist. Dry bread in general just does not taste good. You want this to be super moist, and overbaking will just totally ruin that. So 50 minutes, we're gonna check on it, and if it needs a little bit of time, we're only gonna do it in like 3-minute increments so that we don't overbake it. So in the oven this goes, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. So here's a little tip that I think makes all the difference in this pumpkin bread. When it comes out of the oven, I like to let it cool in the pan for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I lift them out of the pan onto a plate or a cooling rack using the edges of the parchment paper that we put inside the pan so you don't burn your fingers. And then as long as it's not too hot that it won't melt, I like to put a little bit of plastic wrap over the top, and what that does is prevents the steam from escaping, so all that steam is just going to reincorporate into your bread and make the bread even more moist than it already is. I really like to get that sticky top on top of the bread, and really the only way to achieve that is by doing this technique, and it works every time. Makes the bread way better. So just keep it wrapped up until it's cooled completely and you are ready to serve. So this just came out of the oven. It is piping hot, but I'm gonna cut into it anyways because I have no patience. Woo, doggy. Look at that. Do you guys see how moist that is? And it just came out. If you follow the trick that I just showed you by wrapping it while it cools, all that steam is just gonna make it so extra moist, even more than it already is. And that's what makes this so amazing. This is super hot, so I have to wait until it cools a little bit. I'm done. So stinking delicious. Hold on, I need a moment to compose. You know, I'm putting that in there now. I can't ever finish an episode or else he comes in and starts eating everything. So if you guys want to recreate this recipe, just look below in the description box. I'll have all the measurements as well as the written instructions. And if you did like this video, don't forget to smack that like button. And also on my other channel, I just uploaded a new vlog. So if you guys want to go check that out, please do. Click on the little boop up here somewhere. There's a little thing that just popped up. Click on it. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe because I have many more recipes to come. And as always, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and we'll see you next time. Peace. Oh!
You're making a mess.
There's your ending. Okay, you happy?
Still looking, still looking, still looking, still looking.